if it hadn't been for Gershwin, I don't think we would have the pop songs that have been written since then, the great pop songs, you know. I think that possibly, although they're not directly influenced by it, I think that possibly the Beatles might have not written quite such wonderful songs if they hadn't heard, Gershwin hasn't gone first. I'm not saying they heard it first, but he paved the way for them.
Well, actually, over the past period of the past 7 or 8 years, I've been involved in compiling and releasing records from the Tin Pan Alley era, which the Gershwins represent very well. The music attracts me because within that form, you can express a lot more specific and tender emotions than you can within rock and roll and R&B. Can you add this? Boom. 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 Yeah, that's it. Boom. Earlier still. Oh, boom. Oh, boom. Yeah. Okay. I figured that this song basically goes, I've got rhythm, I've got music, I've got my gal who can ask for anything more. So it's 1990s, and I thought, well, let's make it rhythm and music. And I know that sounds dreadfully, but rather than, say, for instance, when it came up, I was sent a tape of 7 different versions by the likes of Bing Crosby and Lorna Luft. And they were like camp galore, you know. And it was like, well, okay, I can see them in a show situation where you're looking at the costumes, you're familiar with the piece, you're not really concentrating much. But I thought that if we could get this dance feel on it, then it would just accentuate exactly where the thing was coming from. I was thinking more like ding ding dong 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 da 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 dum. Not the command, right?
Oh, I see.
And you're doom dum 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 dum.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought, well, it'd be really interesting to take the color and the structure of the Tin Pan Alley stuff and try and make it contemporary rather than actually what I've been doing with it in the past 7 years, which is trying to re-illuminate it. So I came up with a modern approach to it, and I ran it by George Martin, the producer, and he said, fine, let's go with it. And I said, well, and then he said, oh, I want to do it live. And I said, well, I've got 4 drummers in the arrangement. He said, we'll hire 4 drummers. I've got rhythm, I've got music, I've got my gal who can ask for anything more. I've got starlight, I've got sweet dreams, I've got my gal who can ask for anything more. Old man trouble, I don't mind him, you won't find him round my door. I've got music, I've got rhythm, I've got my gal who can ask for anything more. I mean, I was brought up singing rock and roll and rhythm and blues, and they can be very passionate and very violent if you want, but they can't be tender. I suppose we could say that Marvin Gaye or Otis Redding achieved tenderness within a rhythm and blues frame there. But the songs of Gershwin are all about gentle emotions. Days can be sunny with never a sigh. Don't need what money can buy. Birds in the trees sing their day full of song. Why shouldn't we sing along? I'm chipper all the day, happy with my life. How do I get that way? Look at what I've got. I've got rhythm, I've got music, I've got my gal who would ask for anything more. I've got daisies in green pastures, I've got my gal who would ask for anything more. You know, in these old movies when you see people, they walk in the room and there's a guy at the piano and, oh, I've just written this, and the girl joins in and they sing it. You know that the Gershwin spent like 6 months on every damn note, and they pored over the lyric and did as much as they possibly, and then they said, right, now it's finished. Nobody just walks in casually and writes these songs. They're I guess, works of art in terms of the emotion poured into them.
Harold Arlen.